Hey everyone, welcome to Get Lucid TV, episode 17. Let me just check that this is loading. I'm checking in with you guys. Okay, I'm up from burning hot sun, aka Colorado. So let me know where you're tuning in from. It's been such a joy to connect with people all around the globe this year. But today I have a really personal but highly relatable topic that I want to talk about. And it doesn't take anyone more than a hot 5 minutes of following me or speaking with me to discover that I'm all about creating a life that you love, dreaming big for yourself, believing in your God-given gifts, following your calling, dreaming and living lucidly, and just that sharing your unique gifts with the world is why you've been granted this life, and it's what you're here to do. So we each have these really special things that we love and things that light us up inside. For some reason, we have these things that we're just really, really good at, and they keep us up at night, right? Like we're thinking about things in connection to this. That is what our calling is, and it's something that is really difficult to ignore. I'm not saying you currently have to be the best in the world at whatever that thing is. You might not even need to be the best at it at all. But there are some professions like, sports coaches where they're really incredible at being a coach, whereas that doesn't mean that they're necessarily personally really great at playing sports, right? So it might be one of those things. Anyway, the thing that I'm touching on is the thing that you love. The thing I want to talk about is the thing that you love, that natural interest that truly lights you up inside, that if you were working on it, this kind of thing wouldn't even feel like hard, laborious work for you. And I'm someone who, when I have a dream, I will stop at nothing to see that it comes to fruition. I wanted to be fluent in Japanese, so I moved to the center of Tokyo, and within 2 years, I was full-time in Japanese companies. I even spent some time working as the PA for the CEO of Mistubishi. And this isn't because I'm just someone who has been always like super hardworking. I dropped out of school, I was a drug addict, I was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. I spent years of my life feeling like I was useless, depressed, a skeleton of a human who would never amount to anything. But what I needed during that time was to be told that when you find something that you really love doing, you can do it all the time and you can get better at it and better at it. You can be the best at it if you want to be. And we all have these things within us that we're naturally drawn towards. It's all about exploring and trying things to find out exactly what that is. And that answer is within you. So for me now, one of the most important principles that I live by is doing whatever I love to do. Spending my time on something that fills me with purpose and knowing that I'm doing something that's really meaningful. Something that is meaningful to you might not be something that appears or sounds meaningful to your mom or to your aunt on Facebook and to some of your friends in your current circle. And that's okay. I'm not talking about them. I am talking about you. This is important if you really, really want to love the life that you're living, to love yourself, and to be able to love the world that we're currently living in. When I started making decisions for myself, trusting that calling inside and taking action on what I felt was right for me, not what would just look good on my resume or what society had told me was important, that's when things started shifting. So now I'm at a point where I could never again work for someone else. I don't want to be a part of someone else's dream. I don't want to give most of the money that I work for to other people. I want to work on my dream. I want to work for me, and I want to spend the hard-earned money that I get on the things in this world that I find importance in. And you don't have to be working on something that's draining you. You don't have time to be working on something that's draining you. That doesn't help you grow. That doesn't utilize your creativity. And that is not what you were born to do. I was in that position a few years ago, and I decided to bet on myself. I saw all these other people online who were doing what they wanted to do. And I saw all these other people offline who were doing what they wanted to do. And I won't say I necessarily felt ready to do it, but I wasn't sure if I would ever really feel ready. I just knew that I needed to do it. I was the same when I first moved to Japan. If I had planned it all out and waited until I had enough money, or I was fluent enough in Japanese, or I knew exactly where I was going to stay, I would have never gone. I left with one suitcase and about $1,000, and I spent 5 years in that country making it my home and creating a life for myself that I had previously only ever dreamed of. When I moved to America, it was the same thing. And so I recognized that there was never going to be this perfect time or perfect moment for me to build my own business. I just had to go all in and see how it goes. Well, I'm sitting here today to let you know that it was one of the greatest decisions of my entire life. I work with a lot of different people in my online course, the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab, doing one-on-one lucid dreaming and lucid living coaching with people worldwide. And I hear many of them saying the same thing. They take this leap of faith, they bet on themselves, and that is something they would do 1,000,000 times over. It's really scary to make a change. It can be terrifying to leave the comfort zone. But why just be comfortable when instead you can wake up every day feeling really incredible instead? I actually feel the same about all different areas of my life. Like, why stay with someone who just makes you feel all right when there is someone out there who can make you feel like $1,000,000 every single day? Or why are you letting yourself be someone who doesn't think of yourself as $1,000,000? These are the real questions. Are you doing the things that enable you to feel empowered each and every day? Are you surrounding yourself with people who encourage you and push you towards your dreams? Or are there people who laugh at you when you talk about stretching yourself into something more? These are not small things. These things make a massive difference, and you deserve the best, but you have to believe that you do, and you have to be willing to become it. I'm not saying it can happen overnight, but I'm saying that it can happen if you choose to make it happen. If you think that you can feel the fears and the what ifs and these little voices that try and hold you back and make you think that you're not good enough to go for it, if you can ignore those, and hey, I will be the first to put up my hand and say that I've heard them. I've had teachers who told me I would never become anything. I've had friends who have made me feel like absolute shit. And these voices do not serve you, and these people do not serve you. And you are done with all of that. You're somebody who's ready to replace the voices and the what ifs and have faith and belief in yourself, that you will handle any of those things when it comes to it, that those worries might not even happen, and that maybe that anxiety is not even anxiety, but actually a feeling of excitement. So the truth is that you can use the what ifs all day, and that's just not a satisfying way to live. And it's not living in reality. It's living in your imagination, and it's living in this unempowered part of it. So as I told you earlier, I dropped out of school, and that didn't stop me applying for a Master's of Science years later. And most people would think That's not something you can achieve. But there were plenty of what ifs that came up for me when I did that, but I simply couldn't hear them. And here I am sitting with a Master's of Science degree and award-winning research. And when I first came up with my research project on the healing and transformative potential of lucid dreaming for mitigating depression, I was terrified to put it out there. I was terrified to even post a poster about it, looking for participants. I thought, I've started doing all this research and no one's going to be interested. What if no one else has used lucid dreaming for their mental health or for depression? You know, there's not much research on it, so that probably means it's just like a me thing. And it went on. But I pushed through the fear, and I pushed through those voices and the what ifs, and I put my work out there. And I remember feeling physically sick, like I wanted to throw up when I pressed publish. And yet within the first 24 hours, I had over 100 participant applications from 20, maybe even 30 different countries around the world. So at every area of our lives, we're going to have limiting beliefs that will come up, and it's our job to tell ourselves that we are enough. Fuck what age you are, fuck what gender you are, fuck what your income looks like. None of that matters as much as what you tell yourself. Fuck what president you have or what's on the news. Fuck the teachers in school or the parental figures who told you that you're not smart enough. Fuck the school exams or whatever got in your head that is currently holding you back. And especially fuck whatever fucking people on Facebook have to say about it or what they think of you. Because here's a little secret: nobody cares. Everyone is very focused on themselves. So it's time for you to also hyper-focus on you, your own personal dreams, your own goals, your own ambitions. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, has planted a dream in your heart for a reason. And have you noticed how we don't choose the weird ass stuff that we're interested in? How we don't select what naturally pulls us in and draws us closer? These are things that are built within us. They are divine gifts. They are natural interests, natural curiosities, and they are the things that we care about. You can't make people give a shit about anything that they're not interested in. I can talk about dream work, lucidity, consciousness, knitting, corgis, kickboxing, UFC, stuff like that all day. But there are plenty of people who those kind of conversations, even though they interest me to no end, it would put them to sleep within seconds. So choose what already is. Choose to love and trust yourself. Choose your own dreams, not somebody else's. Choose the things that light you up inside, and choose to make an income doing something that can also make an impact. And if any of this has resonated with you today, I just want to say that I am excited for you. I am proud of you. It's easy to say that you're going to do it. It's another thing to actually go and do the damn thing. But if today you're someone who's like, you know what, I'm going to do the damn thing, then you are amazing, and I promise you, you are never going to regret just giving it a go. Regret is the worst thing to live with, and it comes from those moments where you look back and think, shit, what if I had just given it a go? And you can decide to not be one of those people. Maybe this has been something growing inside you for a long time, and especially if this is something that's been on your heart for a long time, that's how you know. That's how you know that this is something that's really important, that it's not gonna just go away. It's gonna keep calling you. So is today gonna be the day that you answer the call? I'm proud to say that I'm a living example of someone who answered their call. I am living my dreams. I'm helping other entrepreneurs and creative minds bring their dreams to life too. And I'm working on being the best version of myself every single day so that I can be of the best service to you every single day too. With that being said, I would love to hear from you. Have you ever taken a leap of faith and watched it pay off? Is there a dream on your heart right now that's calling you to actually bring this to reality? Have there been times where you've taken yourself out of the comfort zone and decided to say no to just settling? Have you left the job? Have you ended the relationship that didn't serve you? Have you trusted that there was more and that you are worth more? What is something that you know if you stopped doing it or if you left it behind today, your life would improve? Leave your thoughts, your feelings, your answers, your observations in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I do reply to every single one. As always, I am here to support and encourage you. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, where I post a ton of free content. If you enjoyed this video, as it's going up on my YouTube channel, I hope you've been enjoying the whole series. This is episode 17 of my Get Lucid TV series. So please subscribe to that or share it with a friend or post it on your own social media pages if you think that other people in your circle need to hear this message or would benefit from it too. And if you are ready for some next level living, if you know that this is something you want to address, but you're in need of that additional support, I strongly encourage you to apply for a spot in the next round of the Lucid Entrepreneur Lab. Enrollment is open now for a September 2021 date, and I will leave the details of that in the description below. But if this message was what you needed to hear today, all I know is that you were guided here for a reason. You're hearing it for a reason. You're ready to dream big for yourself, to live lucidly, to wake up feeling worthy and excited, and the world is ready for your gifts. So thank you so much for tuning in. Wishing you a week full of big dreams, abundance, and lucidity.